Hey everyone, welcome to Advent Member Talks, our weekly event that features a different member on the topic of their choosing. My name is Sam, my pronouns are they, them, and I'm the Member Experience Manager at Advent Coworking. We are a creative co-working community, event space, podcast studio, art gallery, and wellness center. Most importantly, we're a community and we're so excited to be able to host this event to learn more about our members be a part of helping to spread their knowledge and their skills with not only fellow Advent members, but with the greater Charlotte community. So I'm really excited that we're going to be joined by Kyle today. He is going to be talking about how you can publish your very own book in 30 days. So definitely take those notes if you're, trying to write your book. And if you have any questions, please just type those in the comments and we'll do a Q&A at the end. So Kyle, I'll hand it over to you.
Awesome. First, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity of sharing with you guys on this platform, first and foremost. I believe it's so important for individuals to understand the power of stories. And I don't like getting into stats, but a little bit of stats, just so I can set the tone for the story that I'm getting ready to tell you guys, is I am a father. I am a 7-time author, 4-time best-selling author, former award-winning educator. I've built 2 companies that have been multiple six figures, and we've been able to help over 30,000 students across the globe. And this was all before my 30th birthday. So I'm 28. So I've been able to accomplish a lot. But when I was 15, I wasn't always this person. And when I was 15 years old, I made some very bad decisions. And there's a story that I want to be able to share with all of you today before we actually get into the meat of our discussion. And what that was is that when I was 15, I made a decision. And it was to take my parents' car while they were at a concert. And I really wanted to go to this concert. They told me no, but I did it anyway. I had my learner's permit. I really thought I was prepared to be able to go to the party. So went to the party, picked up a friend, ended up having a great time, came back. And before I actually pulled the car into the garage door was shut. And I still feel like there was a malfunction with the car still to this day, but I thought I hit the brake and I hit the gas accidentally and ran through the garage, literally ran through the garage. So any of our listeners, you're probably like, oh my gosh, like the garage is up in the air. And what happened next was the craziest. So I went inside the house, grabbed a paper towel, a towel at the time, came back to the car, wiped the car down, and then called the cops, told the cops literally that someone stole the car and ran it back into the garage. So we're just gonna pause right there. So fast forward, I ended up telling the truth after the cops got there because she gave me a decision. She said, if we have the investigation team out here, this could be you lying is falsifying a police report. And at the time, what I realized after I told the truth is that it wasn't that my parents didn't trust me. It wasn't that my parents, just was trying to teach me a lesson. All it was is that I lacked the necessary preparation and to be able to drive the car on my own. And I think a lot of us, aspiring authors, professionals, entrepreneurs, consultants, coaches, whatever you are as that professional, you're crashing into business, you're making mistakes in life, and you're overlooking the opportunities within your life because you're just not prepared. So it wasn't the statistics, it wasn't the facts of the story that you remembered. It was pieces of the story. It was the actual story that really resonated with me and taught me the importance of preparation, the importance of integrity. And when we think about the importance of our stories and our voices and our pain and how that can really be able to provide someone else purpose, with our mistakes and how you can learn how to create miracles, and how our trials and tribulations help other people, provide them with telescopes to be able to better see their future and be resilient and overcome obstacles. Our stories are the basis and the foundations of the different things that we live by. So I want to be able to talk about today how you can step out of the back seat of society's expectations, of your insecurities on why you're not writing your story. And I want to be able to get you into the driver's seat through using a simple 5-step method called Drive that we're really going to break down to tell you how and to teach you how and really empower you to write your story. So the D of the Driver method, get your pens out. The D of the Driver method is all about your desired outcome. Your desired outcome. I want you to write 3 sentences. What do you really want? Who do you want to get in front of? And how much revenue do you want to be able to generate? And this whole myth that authors don't make revenue and book sales aren't happening is a myth. Yes, the real statistic is that 70 million books are published every year, and usually authors on average sell 250 copies of their books in the lifetime of their book. But in my program, and what I've been able to really see, and even in my own experience, is literally 6-figure earners leveraging their book sales, whether it's leveraging it through a lead magnet, whether it's leveraging it in bulk sales, whether it's licensing the material, whatever it is, there's so many different ways to profit from your book, but I need you to understand first your desired outcome, okay? What do you really want? Do you want to get on stage and speak? Do you want a coaching program? Do you want a mentoring program? Do you want to stop working so much in more of a one-on-one aspect and leverage this to put all of your information in one place so it can free you up to be able to move forward? So I want you to really write down those 3 questions. What do I really want? Who do I want to get in front of? And how much revenue do I want to be able to generate? And then I would work with you to be able to help you get through and matriculate through and transition through that process to be able to making that a reality. All right, step 2. So as you've understood your desired outcome, and on that desired outcome, the who came up at least once, right? The who do I want to get in front of? Now I want you to ask yourself as you're preparing to write your book, who is this book for? Who, in the R of the driver model, is reviewing your reader avatar? And we're all business professionals here. And if we're not, what avatar really means is a detailed profile of your customer. Who are they? What's the demographic? Where are they hanging out online? Who are they learning from online? What are some of their struggles? And as we get into really dissecting our avatar, we would be able to understand the I of the driver model, investigating some type of pain point. And I absolutely love empathy maps, where what are they feeling? What are some of the things that your ideal reader, your reader avatar is experiencing? Where are they currently in their current circumstance? What are they feeling? What are they hearing? What are they seeing? What is their environment around them? Because when we get to the point as business professionals and as authorpreneurs, we can position the book where they are and connect the dots so that your book serves as the process, the methodology, the tactics to be able to walk them through your book's process to be able to get them to their desired solution. And what I call this is the clothesline method, where we really understand where are we right now? Where's your reader? Where do they really, really want to be? Where are they desiring to go? And then that space, that gap in the middle, which is my face in this case, is that transformative process. Now you're able to break down what you're writing because you've already understood your desired outcome. You already understand and you've reviewed your reader avatar. Now you understand and you've used an empathy map to investigate the pain point. Now I want you to understand the V of the driver model, which is versatility. Too much versatility can create volatility. I need you to understand a lot of people come to me with stories, and I'm not saying that your story doesn't matter, but all of the parts of your story are not essential to what your book is talking about, okay? So if you want to get in front of CEOs and professionals, and you want to do certain things with the coaching program or entrepreneurs, there are certain things in your story that will not be essential to the story in which you are talking about in regards to the overall desired outcome that you want to essentially have at the end of the story, okay? So if I ask you right now, and I'm going to challenge somebody on this call today. If I asked you right now to tie your shoe and tell me how you tied your shoe, I guarantee if there were 5 people in this room, they would literally walk through the process of communicating it differently. But they're also going to give me the key characteristics, the key steps of what it takes to get the shoe from untied or off your foot to on your foot to tying both loops, to tightening them or even double knotting them, and then being able to move forward accordingly. Your book is the absolute same way. If you understand your destination, and your destination in this course, or your desired outcome in this case was, I need to be able to go somewhere. I need to be able to move, but my shoes have to be on. If you understand who you are as a person, you've been trained to do things a certain way, and you understand there's really no pain point in this case. Well, the pain point in this case is that your shoe is off or your shoe needs to be put on. Then what is essential to being able to move forward your reader avatar from where they are to where they desire to be? Okay. And then when we get into the E of the driver model, it's the edge. What's the edge factor? And I like to say edge because it's the wow factor. And how is your story cutting edge? Okay. Because I do really believe that everyone has a story, but I want you to understand that yes, your story matters. Yes, you deserve to be heard. Yes, your experiences deserve to be shared with the world. But what is the uniqueness? What makes your story distinct in regards to everyone else's story? Is it your voice? Is it your style? Is it how you're telling it? Because this in business would serve as your unique selling proposition, which is your USP. And when I have 2 E's on the back of my drive model, and I want the next E to be establishing systems. And this is really for once you get ready to launch your book, once you get ready to really push your book to the masses. In my experience, I've been able to write 7 books. All of them have generated 6 figures, and we've been able to do a lot of successful things from my books. And I've had authors really be able to leverage systems to be able to move their books forward as a part of the marketing process. A lot of people say writing the book was easy, but marketing the book was the challenging part. And there's 3 things that I want you guys to look at, and I don't want to take too much time. There's a 3-prong rule. Okay, if we're on a 3-prong stool, a lot of people only focus on 2 of the prongs. They focus on the frequency about how many times or how much they're telling the story of the book or communicating about their book, and then the quality in regards to how well they're communicating about the book. But the 3rd prong is always missing, and that is the system in regards to how they're selling the book. So I want to be able to provide you with just 1 step: leverage your emails. If we take our books, yes, on Amazon to leverage the platform, but if we send people to an author landing page and then leverage email so that when you're capturing and collecting customer information, then you'll be able to nurture your potential reader buyers or your purchasers as a part of the process to upsell them into other different, whether it's coaching programs, maybe another book in the future, maybe it's newsletters, get them on your podcast, whatever the case may be, okay? So we have to have our systems in place in regards to how we're selling the book. So just a quick recap, we wanna be able to understand our desired outcome. What are we writing this book for? Who are we writing this book to? When we understand our reader, we need to understand and investigate the pain point. Where are they and where do they desire to be? And then understand as a part of the versatility over volatility, what is absolutely essential to the story? What is essential to the story? And then I need your wow factor, and then for you to establish systems, okay? Establish your systems. Now, when we think about a 30-day schedule, let's just talk about a 30-day quick schedule. Day 1 through 6 should be planning your W4 to increase your W2. And what I mean by that is your W4 is, why are you writing this book? That goes with the desired outcome. What is this book going to be about? If you were to describe this book in 2 sentences, what is the book going to be about? And then who is the book for? And then when is the book targeted to launch? Okay. So I recommend when you start writing the book, I would launch it 30 days out. Okay. So you give yourself about 30 days to market the book, leverage pre-sales, and then be able to leverage those pre-sales to order more books or leverage marketing strategies as well in regards to systems. Day 7 through 13, those are all about reviewing. Review your content, organize and structure your content. And I call this mind mapping. So if I'm writing a book about entrepreneurship and starting a business, day 7 through 13 should really be about everything that could potentially go with starting a business. That's the desired outcome. I know I want to talk to early entrepreneurs or wherever the case may be. I'm writing all of the content. Leverage a poster board and just write all the content. And then put the initial outcome in the middle and then connect the dots, leveraging a mind map where you're able to see, all right, these are all of the themes. Day 14 to 21, organize and group the themes. So let's say opening a business, bank account, like the steps to opening a business, that's here. That may be first. Or maybe mindset is first. And then you want to be able to organize and then order your overall theme so you can create a storyline. What I recommend any author is create a roller coaster. People love roller coasters because of, like, I don't know, it's like the scare and the anxiety and the journey that the roller coaster takes you on. So when you're going up, 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 you're learning about the writer, you're learning about the author, and then you take them down. And then you go up, 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 and then you take them down, and then you take them around. And then they're constantly screaming. They're constantly into your story. They're engaged with your story. You want to be able to create that roller coaster effect where you're moving your reader up and down as a part of their reading journey, is what I like to call it. Day 21 through 24, that's when you clean up your story. What I would recommend, just a quick author hack in these 3 days, send your book. Send a chapter to 10 of your friends, to 10 of your colleagues. Get them to read a chapter of your book. Get them to read a chapter of your book, because now what they're going to do is they're going to provide you reviews. They're going to provide you maybe questions that you can be able to implement answers or clean different things up in your book. Now, why I like this so much, if you sent it to 10 of your friends and you also asked them to give you 5 questions and 5 testimonials, what you would end up having is 50 testimonials that you would be able to leverage as a part of your marketing or part of your landing pages. Then you would have 50 questions that would help you clean up the content of your overall book. Okay. And then once we get to day 25 to 27, that's all about identifying your sweet spot. That's identifying your sweet spot, your USP, your unique selling proposition. Why is this book? What separates this book? Let's say you're writing about relationships. What separates this book in the relationship category, or in the entrepreneurship category, or in the fiction category? Okay. And then what is the solution to the problem that you're maybe solving? The size of your paycheck, the size of your sales numbers will depend on the size of the problems that you're solving. Okay. And how important that problem is to that reader avatar that we discussed earlier. All right. And then I want you to understand and identify the sweet spot by what is the overall transformation in the experience that your reader is going to go through. And when you think about the experience, when you look at Nike and when you look at Apple, or when you hear about Target or certain politicians, there's a certain emotion that you get. Okay. What is the emotion that someone gets when they are reading your story? What is the emotion that someone gets when they are introducing themselves to you? That emotion is important when you're writing your book as well. So at the front end, when you are mind mapping, you need to understand what emotion that you are creating. And even when you do the author hack and you send it to different people, make sure they even understand and they can feel the overall emotion as well. So this is definitely what I recommend. I've been able to publish 7 books, literally using this same model. I think in my experience, what I've experienced is that most people don't write their books because 3 things. They don't believe that their story matters. They're insecure. I was there. It took me literally 3 years to publish my first book. Okay. So they don't believe that their story matters. They don't believe that they're important enough, or they have enough experience, whatever the case may be. Or number 2, they haven't unpacked certain things or really reflected on certain things enough to be able to advance that and write about it. And then number 3, which is the biggest one, they just lack the strategy. And like I talked about, when I crashed my car into the garage at 15 years old, I lacked the preparation. I lacked the strategies to be able to drive the car. Okay. And leverage this story. I challenge everyone that watches this, everyone that either watched the live video or the recorded video on the replay, use your story, leverage your story in using this model in order for you to drive forward in your dream, in your vision, and then really be able to impact people around the world. So thank you so much. And if you have any questions, I'm here. I wanted to be able to drop this as quickly and as concise as possible. And I can be reached at theauthorsellingsystem.com if you have any more questions at all.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Kyle. That was like so much information and like extremely well organized and very clear. So thank you for that. I was typing the drive in the comments for anyone watching who needs to kind of scroll back and reread it. Or like you said, this is, recorded. We'll have it up on our YouTube channel, Advent Corking videos as well.
Awesome.
You had me worried there for a minute that I was going to have to explain how to tie a shoe.
Oh my
So,
goodness. You know what's funny? Every time that I ask someone, hey, explain to me how to tie your shoe, they're like, I don't know. You do it every day. And I think so many times we overlook all of the things that we just do naturally.
mm,
We never know that, hey, this could really help someone. Maybe you could write a children's book about how to help kindergartners tie their shoes, because there's, as a former educator, there's so many students in those kindergarten classes that don't know how to tie their shoes.
right.
So just think about that one thing that you look over every day, how impactful that would be for so many kids.
Absolutely. And actually, speaking of children, we got a question from Rachel. For a children's book, would you apply this same method, or are there adjustments that you would make?
There's a few adjustments that I would make, but I would definitely apply the same method. When you think about your overall desired outcome, Rachel, what do you want? What do you want the overall outcome of this book to be? Do you want this book to be in school curriculums? Do you want this book to be sold via online? Is this a children's book series? Now, when you think about your overall avatar, who's going to be reading this book? Is it kindergartners? Is it middle school? Is it early age students, early childhood students? Do you want parents to be able to read these books? What is the overall messages in the books as well? The pain point. Why would someone want to pick up this book? All right, students are struggling with this, or students are struggling with their characters or colors or whatever the case may be. So I created this book in order to communicate or deal with that overall challenge as well. Now, when you think about the versatility in regards to over volatility, what is actual essential to the story? What is the actual storyline, and how you would implement the storyline? I like to use the 10-10 model. So I help people leverage or kind of just do a mind map on what are all of the parts of the story. What should come first in the story? What should come second in the story? What should come third in the story? And then be able to structure everything according to what you want the overall outcome to be. Now, Rachel, this is what I want to explain to you. This may be a children's book story or children's book series. A lot of authors that I work with that have children's book, they're trying to put everything in one book. But this could be the first book, because a kindergartner doesn't want to, as someone that has a 5-year-old, 10 pages and he's done. Or we're going to reread that same book again, okay? So 10 pages, what can be so powerful and impactful in the 10 pages? What do you see? I think the hardest and the most challenging perspective that I've seen in regards to authors of children's books is finding an illustrator. Now, that is definitely one of the major challenges that I see, because illustrators can be a sort of expensive. However, if you would email me, I can leave my email, support@impactwithkyle, and I can direct you to illustrators that I use that are very, very high quality, but very affordable as well. And if you have any more specific, hopefully that answers your question. And if you have any more specific questions in regards to children's books, just reach out and then I can walk you through the process as well.
Awesome. And I'll grab that email address from you later and I'll add it to the notes on YouTube for you. So another question we have from Charlotte: do you have any tools for discovering your desired outcomes if you're unsure what you really want?
That is a great question. I do, actually. I have a tool. If they go to publishmeinthirty.com, there's a free webinar, and then you can get the ebook that actually is attached to the webinar as well, publishmeinthirty.com. And then please also email me and my team can get you over that ebook. Because anybody who comes to this call, the live event, I'm actually going to provide some resources for those aspiring authors as well. So I can be reached at support@impactwithkyle.com, support@impactwithkyle.com. But I do have a plethora of ebooks to really be able to understand what am I writing about. And then we can schedule a call with me, and then I can really sit with you and help you understand how to pull it out of your mind, because there's probably a lot of stories inside of you that you're overlooking, Charlotte. I know it. I know it. And I can't see you physically. It's time for me to go pick up my son in 20 minutes. That was my alarm. I can't see you physically, but what I can know is everybody that I've come in encounter with has a story. They just need help pulling it out, whether it's pulling out the importance of the story, pulling out the significance of the story, or being able to structure what they already have to be able to move forward. And what I mean by that is when Bill Clinton was working on his audiobook, he was working with an audio engineer, and they were going through the book and they were trying to see what was staying in the audiobook and then what was moving away from the audiobook. And Bill Clinton got to the part of the scandal that everyone knows, and he asked the audio engineer, is this significant? Is this significant to keep in the story? And the audio engineer looked back at a former president and said, yes, Mr. President, this is significant. And I think a lot of times we overlook a lot of the things that we've experienced, that we've struggled with, the things that we've overcome, the things that on where we were resilient, experiences of other people as well, and not thinking it's significant. But Charlotte, Rachel, I guarantee you have so many significant stories, whether it's children's stories, fictional stories, or even non-fictional stories that can really be able to help someone else unlock the door of their purpose as well. So please just reach out and I would love to help you write your story.
Yeah, and on that note, how do you find that right balance between information you want people to learn and the personal narrative to keep people engaged? Because I'm sure there's so much that you could share.
No, definitely. I think it all depends on your market. That's one thing, because I believe at the beginning of my writing journey, I crafted my story in a way where I wanted people to understand all of like how I overcame situations in my first book, The Mission Plan, The Decision. And through that, then it evolved. And then I met with a mentor and he said he sold 1 million books, literally 1 million copies of his book. And I read it and it was only about 150 pages. And I said, 1 million people bought this? And he was like, yes, because it's clear, it's concise. And I specified my niche. And at that time I was like, what do you mean by your niche? He said, I knew that my market would only read books that are designed like this, that are focused in this arena, that have a cover that looks like this because they want to learn more about this. And then from those 1 million copies sold, then he went off to make millions of dollars on the back end from coaching programs and a lot of other different things as well. So I think what I would recommend is what is actually essential. I believe in mixing the personal with the professional or with the story as well, because readers want to connect with you. Readers want to feel you. Readers, what I've learned in the reviews that I've gotten in my books, it's like, Kyle, it feels like you're talking directly to me, or people that know me, it's like, hey, I'm able to read through this book quickly because it feels like I'm having a conversation. So dependent on the book that you write, because there may be some educational writers, there may be some more eclectic writers, there's different types of writers and different types of voices. But what I would recommend is align your voice style with the specific niche that you're trying to get in front of. Hopefully that answers your question.
Yeah, absolutely. We have time for maybe one, maybe two questions. Next one here. So you're saying, publishing your book in 30 days. Do you also write your book in 30 days?
Oh, yes. So just to give somebody a quick strategy, this is super quick and I would love to help anybody with this. So what I do is I do heavy in the first week mind mapping. So what am I writing about? Who is my niche? What do I know about my niche? What are they currently struggling with? What are the circumstances? All of these different things. So this is a quick hack for anyone out there. Like, this is a quick hack every time it works. So what I would do, I would recommend is you doing the mind mapping, you organize your thoughts. That's like from day 1 to, let's say, day 13. Then once your thoughts are organized and the chapters are organized and you have your, let's say, 6 chapters. Let's say you take day 1, you record all of your thoughts out loud. You record, you pick up your iPhone, you record everything into a voice memo, every single thing into a voice memo. Then you use a tool called Otter. It's a transcription tool, AI technology. You upload it and then it gives you everything. That same day when you get everything, go through it and add the rest of it. I believe if you talk for an hour, I believe that's 3,000 to 4,000 word count, or maybe 5,000 word count. If you did 1 chapter a day for 6 days, 1 chapter a day for 6 days, and you uploaded it and got it back, you would have 20,000 words. That's your first draft of your book. Then you send that book to a professional editor. It'll take about a 2-week turnaround. So by day 28, your book is finished and it's ready to get out to the world.
That's very impressive. Awesome. Yeah, no, for sure. Well, thank you. Thank you so much, Kyle. This has been really great information. I love these resources that you've shared with folks, especially that webinar and just, your willingness and openness to support folks if they want to reach out with you. So just one more time, if people do want to learn more about your work or they want to connect with you, what's the best way for them to do that?
For sure. So website, go to authorsellingSystem.com, authorsellingSystem.com. My email is support@impactwithkyle.com, support@impactwithkyle.com. And my Instagram is Kyle S. King, Kyle S. King. And you'll see a lot of my son as well.
Awesome. And I know you do have some books published as well. So folks, definitely check that out.
For sure. I'm giving books away for free for anybody who came to the call. So go to themissionplanbook.com, themissionplanbook.com.
You have so many websites. Okay, missionplanbook.com. I'm just going to write this out into the comments right now for everyone. That's the point. And I really hope that we can get like a few copies for the library as well, so other members can come through and check them out. That would be really great.
They're already in there.
Oh my gosh. Okay, cool. Everyone, go to the library, check out Kyle's books. Well, thank you so much, Kyle. And thanks to everyone who has joined us today. We really appreciate it. We really love this event and getting to support and highlight our members. We're going to take the next 2 weeks off for the holidays. So happy holidays, happy new year. And we will be back on January 5th. So thank you so much, everyone, and hope you have a great evening.
You guys.